Hello, everybody. A very, very good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you are watching from, and welcome to our weekly preview stream today on this Monday morning. Hope everyone had a very, very fantastic weekend. Big weekend of sport, wasn't it? Oh, for me, anyway, for anyone who's interested in sport. Super Bowl, Six Nations Rugby, Premier League. Yeah, pretty good. Feeling good today. I hope everyone is also feeling good and is ready for what is going to be a very, very interesting week in the markets with the stuff we've got coming up. As always, on a Monday, I will be doing the weekly preview, looking at the top events, opportunities, the top stories, the top narratives, and also having a look at some trades that I've got on, maybe some more trades as well coming. We shall see if the markets decide that they want to give me those trade ideas for today. Of course, we will follow whatever the market is telling us, and of course, today we are doing our normal 80k giveaway, $80,000 in Atmos funded challenges. As you know, Atmos funded had a little bit of a glow up, new logo. I need to get these t-shirts changed now. So I've still got the old logo. I need to cover it up. There you go. Look, no, we don't want that one. So yeah, I will be changing the stuff as and when I can, and hopefully that'll be done fairly soon. But things take some time, of course. And yeah, the way in which the giveaways work is the same as always, really. I'm running, we're live on X, we're live on YouTube. So on the YouTube giveaway side of things, essentially it's anyone who turns up to the stream on YouTube, engages in the chat, subscriber to the channel, those sorts of, that they get double the chance to win, but anyone who joins and engages does get a ticket, should we say, into a live draw. I will be announcing the giveaway winners after the stream on Discord. And for X, it's very, very simple. If you check my pinned post, if you follow the rules on there, I'll also announce the winners of that after the stream as well. All winners have been pretty much credited now. I actually made a mistake. The person, you know who you are on X, I forgot to put your name on the spreadsheet after you won, but I believe that's hopefully been fixed now. If not, you will be credited very, very soon. Thank you very much for that. And hello to everyone who is on the chat section on YouTube as well. It's good to see you all. Zaref Khan, hello to you. Hope you're doing well. Asmar XD, hello to you. Done everything. Well done. Thank you. Who else we got? Moe-TONM, hello to you. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. And I'm doing very well. Thank you very much for asking. Mr. Mamus, hello from Africa, I hear you say. Hello to you. I hope you're doing well. Hello from Dubai. I like your new logo, sir, says Zeus. Yes, thank you very much. I quite like it as well. It wasn't me. We're going to get some good merch as well. Yes, Talis, good to see you, and I hope you're doing well. Dev Mikos, I hope you're doing well as well. Who else we got on the stream? Quite a lot of people today. Virus98, hello to you. We've got Isiodo4752. Muti, Raymond, hello to you. I am doing well, and I hope you are as well. Daniel, NZD USD has been stopped out. Sorry to hear that. Hope you're doing well anyway. Not a good start to the week when we start off with a loss. It happened to me on gold this morning. I'll show you in just a second. We've got Grant on the stream as always. Hello to you, Grant. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Jane, who else we got? Asmari, to all of you. Daniel says, hope all good. I got burned this morning, read the market completely wrong. I'm sorry to hear that, mate. It does happen. I'm hoping that you managed to keep your risk contained, should we say. Someone in here said that Arsenal won. Yes, Arsenal did win. They are on their way to their Premier League title, I'm sure. Fredid67, hello to everyone on X as well. We're approaching 30 people on X. Hello to you all who are watching today. And yeah, good to see you all. And I hope you all had a good weekend. Weekend was good from me. Yes, I am in Dubai. Sadar, hello to you. Call my name, please. There you go. Hope you're doing well. Forex MS, good to see you. Who else we got? Zahid, Abdul. Abdul says that Connor, you're looking more handsome today. Nice one. Team Haven, Japan election does affect the market. Yes, of course it does. Let's dive into the market now. Okay, all right. Let's dive into the market. Where should we start? Let's just start with live trade, shall we? Because they're the things that there's the things that are moving quickly for me anyway. So as per as every stream that I do, I always go through the trades that I've currently got open as per my my EA systems, my own EA systems. So I'm currently live on a gold trade, as you can see. Now, at the moment, if I... here it is. So as you can see, I was tagged into a gold long this morning. I did move into some profit, but then eventually was stopped out at a 1% loss. Actually 0.75% because I'm trading on a 200k prop account. Then was tagged in probably, 5, 10, 15, probably about 30 minutes later, I was tagged into a new long. So far, so good. We are on the way to TP, live on the stream, which is what I like to see. I do apologise, obviously. Some guys will probably say, I can't enter now, I'm too late, etc., etc. But, hopefully this sort of thing will be fixed when my mentorship is out. Hopefully I can give you live visibility at the time of when my trades execute, just so you can follow the journey if you wish. But this current gold trade is hopefully on its way to TP. I'll be pretty annoyed if it reverses now, but that's a fairly decent one. Moving on to my DAX power hour strategy. Currently in about 0.4% in drawdown. Was in a little bit of profit today. If I show you where I was entered here, straight into drawdown, then went into profit, now back into drawdown. Typical Monday, really, a little bit rangy on the stock market as we head into a new week of market moves. Index Blitz, which is my S&P 500 bot, now was stopped out this morning on a long, so it wasn't a good start for me either. Was stopped out on a long here, as you can see, entered long there, stopped out here. But I've been entered into a new long since. I'm currently long on the S&P 500 with a target of 6,950, roughly, just underneath. My stop loss sits at 6,915 as a predetermined risk from the EA. I always risk 0.5% on this strategy because it's a little bit of a scalpy one. It's one for the scalpers. So yeah, got trades running on all three. And I'll monitor those trades throughout the rest of this stream. And maybe we'll find some more trades as well, maybe on some Forex majors and stuff. Because last week we called a brilliant euro-dollar sell, which was nice. But now the euro is pumping against the dollar, so we'll refresh and our analysis on the DXY and the euro and the pound, dollar, etc. So yeah, that should be good. Just reading some of the comments section now. Thank you very much. Your last stream was a massive win. Thanks for that trade, Connor. You are welcome. I hope you managed to draw some profits from that, and it's good to hear that you could. Hopefully we see some more setups. Yeah, and Krish Nahiro says that the markets are calm today. I felt the same way. I felt after the last few weeks of chaos, I think what we're seeing is more of a typical Monday. We moan about volatility sometimes, don't we? But then sometimes we want volatility. Damned if you do and damned if you don't. But yeah, this is a fairly traditional start, shall we say, to the week. Looking across the board on the markets right now, I'm seeing gold. I'm seeing silver up 3%. I'm seeing gold up 1%. The stock market is fairly flat. The DAX is up 0.4, but the US stock market is pretty much unchanged. We've just had the US Open, not the US Indices Open. We've had the New York Open. The DXY is down 0.6%, so we're seeing some selling on the dollar today. So we'll take a look at that to see, whether our analysis is still valid from the last couple of weeks, and we'll try and give an update on that as well. And as I said, overall, a little bit of a calmer start to the week, which is fine. I don't think that's going to last too long. Now, why is that not going to last? This is why. This week we have NFP, I believe. Last week we had a delay to non-farm payrolls. It should have been coming out on Friday, but it's now coming out on Wednesday, which is odd. But that's just a delay from the partial government shutdown at the back end of last week, which meant that there was no employment report released from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. But that's coming out on Wednesday, which means on Wednesday we've got a huge live stream because I'm going to cover the US non-farm payrolls live. As always, as I promised, these big events, I will cover them live. And I'll be giving away $100,000 in Atmos funded challenges, as always on our special live streams where I cover actual events, as they come out. So it'll be an interesting one. We're seeing the jobs market here. I'm looking at unemployment's expected to stay at 4.4. Average hourly earnings expected to stay the same, and the non-farm employment change, which is the big one, that's expected to improve slightly up to 70k. So we'll see what sort of report we get, and we'll break that down for you on Wednesday stream. So make sure you keep an eye on the YouTube channels and etc. and the Discord channel, because I'll schedule that stream for NFP Live later today. Okay, that's probably we have got retail sales coming out tomorrow. Today there's nothing, so don't worry too much. But we have got retail sales coming out tomorrow, then NFP on Wednesday, and then on Thursday we've got UK GDP. For the pound traders, that might be an interesting one if you're trying to find some intraday opportunities on the pound. And then on Friday, normally the US inflation comes out on Wednesday, but now it's coming out on Friday. So I'm just so we've got NFP on Wednesday, and we've got the US inflation coming out on Friday now at 5:30 p.m. So that's obviously going to be a big one as well. We're expecting US inflation year on year to tick lower from 2.7 to 2.5. If that does come through, then the fuel that will add fuel into the interest rate cut fire. So yeah, a pretty big week actually, and hopefully that will lead to some good market opportunities coming up this week without it being too crazy. But as you know, who knows what Trump's going to come out and say tonight? You know what I mean? Interesting narrative here. I've just recorded a video on this actually. It's going to be posted very, very soon. So keep an eye on my social media channels. If you want access to my social media channels, you can scan the QR code in this bottom right hand corner. We also have just launched our February promotion. So make sure you take advantage of that by scanning the QR code. You can either use code Connor at checkout, or you can scan the QR code and go directly from here if you wish. On our new website, you'll see our new promotion that we've got out for our February promotion on Atmos. 25% off of 1-step and 2-step plus challenges, and 15% off of 2-step standards and instant funding. That's our February promotion. As I say, you can do it however you want. You can scan this QR code. I think code February will do that on this QR code, or you can go straight to the website yourself if you want and use code Connor, and that should distribute that promotion for you. Now, what I wanted to show you, which I found very interesting, was this, right? Bitcoin price to zero. Here's why the $0 Bitcoin narrative is growing, and what it says about cryptocurrency. Now, those of you who watch me on the stream, I probably don't give too much attention to crypto, not enough probably. I know there's a lot of people in here who do trade cryptocurrency. I've just not really ever been a massive trader of crypto, but it's fine. This is an interesting story for those who are interested. Basically, where is it? This man. Oh, where is it? Richard Farr, that's it, Richard Farr, chief market strategist and partner at Pivotus Partners, claimed on Wednesday last week that his firm's Bitcoin target is zero. What? He's argued, let's just talk about why he said this. He argued that Bitcoin has failed as a hedge against the dollar, remains heavily correlated to the Nasdaq, and has not gained traction as a medium of exchange. He also pointed to concerns about mining economics and energy consumption. The miners who are the network are bleeding cash, Farr wrote. We think it's a zero. Now, Peter Schiff, one of Bitcoin's most vocal opponents, argued that gold's value is rooted in physical utility, while Bitcoin's value is based purely on belief. I don't totally disagree with that. It's a very speculative thing, right? There isn't any real intrinsic value of it. Like it says here, Bitcoin's value is purely subjective, as it has no utility beyond belief. What do you guys think about that in the chat? I mean, that's a crazy, crazy projection. Does he actually believe that, or is it just him scare? Is it just scaremongering? Should we say? What do you think, guys, in the chat? Do you think this is a load of rubbish, or is there legs on this? Are we seeing Bitcoin prices to zero? By when? I don't know. In all seriousness, though, if you look at the current price on Bitcoin, okay, as we've seen in previous times, I'm on the weekly time frame. anytime we've seen, big surges in Bitcoin, big like bull cycles, should we say, they are, and it's the same with gold, but this is all about Bitcoin, they are often met with periods of downturn, right? And then it inevitably picks back up again. Your question to me, do I think Bitcoin will hit zero? No, I don't. I think that's highly scaremongering content, to be honest with you. However, you can't deny that when we look at the daily time frame now, the breakout of this trend line, a break through the daily demand zone, which I thought was going to act as support. Do you remember last week we spoke about this demand zone here? And I said there was two ways in which you can trade this. The risky way of trading it would be like to go, close your eyes and set a buy limit at the demand zone. Now, the downside to this methodology is basically that you've not really got any confirmation that this is support. So what you saw on that daily, look, we just went straight through it without showing any signs of a reaction. And that's why I typically try and point people away from using that. Like when they use order blocks, sometimes don't just go blind on an order block without seeing some sort of reaction on a lower time frame. Like if you're using a daily order block, look for that reaction on the hourly time frame. Or if you're using an hourly order block, look for that reaction on a 15-minute or a 5-minute, etc. To see that there's some sort of reaction to give you extra confluence in the trade. Close your eyes, yeah. I'm just reading the comment. So that didn't work out either. Also, the 200 daily moving average, we're now trading significantly below it. And the 200 weekly moving average has, it's not really been tested. I mean, sort of, but not really. I know these are lagging indicators. So like if this reversed, we might see that this looks like it tested it at the time. We came pretty close to it last week is what I'm trying to say. And I'm wondering whether 60,000 still remains a potentially good target for shorts, right? Because we have got just underneath 60,000, we've got that 200 weekly moving average. Surely there's going to be support there. But I have to say the story on Bitcoin remains one of like, well, this is bearish structure now. Look at the 4 hour from the top. Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, low volume, breakdown through the trend line. It's very typical of a bearish market structure. And now what we're seeing is if you look at the current leg in Bitcoin, say from here to here, actually probably more like here to here. Yeah. Notice how we reacted here from the 61.8% of that bearish move, the last bearish move. And I'm wondering whether we're going to see chop and churn now, a bit like what we saw, rinse and repeat, a bit like what we saw here. Bearish leg, low volume pullback, breakthrough, bearish leg. You see where I'm going with this, following structure, low volume pullback, breakdown below. I think that potentially we could be in for some more downside here on Bitcoin if we're going to follow market structure. Now, I know there's people out there who are blindly bulls, and what my sort of opinion on this is, and it is just my opinion, is that we may be in for some more short-term pain, but overall, anything below 60k, 50, 55, I think acts as a fantastic, not just a short-term, but a longer-term trading / investing opportunity. That's how I'm viewing it for myself. See what you think. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Just reading some of the things there. Yes, I've just answered Bitcoin. Yes, no reversal sign just yet. What about the NASDAQ? Yes, so we'll take a look at the NASDAQ as well. I'm just going to do a quick trade. I've not seen my trades. 50k excuse me, 50k target for longs, says Fredid. Yes, fair enough. Dev Mikos, although I was expecting it to dip, I'm definitely not liking this. Expecting to buy, but it would be a swing for me. Yeah, I think that's right. Zarif says, if your edge disappeared tomorrow, would your discipline still protect you? I think your discipline would still carry you some way. But I think that if your edge disappears, which happens, I don't think like when you have these like the way that I do it with these like mechanical back-tested strategies over a certain period of time, etc. It's pretty much inevitable that you can't that strategy isn't like future-proof forever, you know. However, if that is the case and your edge disappears, the way in which I define whether my edge disappears, and I've spoke about this with my partner, is I said that I think we can say our edge has disappeared if there's a year which falls where the drawdown falls above our maximum drawdown on our back-tested results. Does that make sense? So like if on our back-tested results we have a max DD of 22%, yeah, over the last 5 years. If at any point our max DD exceeds 22%, we should be looking at implementing new strategies to the collection, yeah. And the good thing about strategies as well is like don't rely on just one. What I try and do is like I've got a collection of strategies which hopefully gives me some diversification, that if one is falling then the other can maybe pick it up. If I've got 4 strategies on the go on funded accounts, say 400k accounts, 3 of them could be blowing up, right? But if one of them gives me like a 3k payout, then overall I've still made profit. You know what I mean? So think about that as well. Let's do the Nasdaq and the euro dollar. Okay, fair enough. No worries. Yes, let's talk about the DXY first because I want to talk about that. I think we can now remove the analysis of the fair value gap stuff. You shouldn't hang on to your analysis for too long. We had good trading opportunities that came from there. We didn't quite get like what I'd call a runner, like from where this reacted from. Nice reaction. We caught a euro dollar sell off the back of this last week. But it didn't run on, and now I'd probably say like, it's been filled, the void's been filled, it's yesterday's news, we need to update our analysis accordingly. So how do we do that on the DXY? What am I looking at now? Well, to be honest with you, what I'm looking at something that's quite bearish, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I still think that the dollar is under pressure overall, if I'm being honest with you. And what you see here, quite simply, is 4-year low, pullback, and I'm wondering whether we're going to see a move back down to 95.5. For me, we've still got policy divergence between the Fed and the European Central Bank. The European Central Bank have got their rates down at 2.15%, right? So we're not expecting like massive cuts. Whereas the Federal Reserve still have their rates relatively fairly high. So I still think that gap still needs to be bridged. And I think that's why we're continuing to see weakness in the US dollar. And I think that might continue. So yeah, it's been an okay run trying to buy back into dollars, but I think this might now be the time to sell dollars again, in my opinion. So how would we do that? Well, let's look at euro dollar for a start, because I know people are, yeah, look, it's up 0.75% today. Yeah, look at that. Hard one to get into right now, if I'm being honest, guys, because it's on the move. It's a Monday. It's already up 0.75%. I wouldn't be sort of trying to look to buy it just yet, but we do have some resistance coming in. Here's what I would do on euro dollar. Here is our bearish order block. Okay. I think we could see some resistance there, potentially. But that resistance might only be short-lived from the breakout of this impulsive move. So I'd be looking for a clean support area within that impulsive move for then to trade it back up. And it wouldn't surprise me if we come and test 1.2 again at some point. So I'd probably look for something like that. I think if you trade it now, you're trading it too close to a resistance level, and therefore it's a no trade. If you manage to catch the breakouts down here, then great. I didn't, so I'll move. I'm not that fast. So yeah, I'd move on from that. Looking at gold, this is my gold trade at the moment. Look how close. Well, not that close, but it's on. Gold's back on the way down, to be honest. So we'll see how this goes. sometimes that is the way it goes. And I just, do you know what, I don't want this to happen, but it'd be a good lesson in psychology, right? Is that obviously you think you're sorted, you think you're done here, don't you? There's no way we're not going to hit take profit. This is why I don't get too caught up like when the trade is live, because anything can happen until I'm out the trade. Even if it's here, okay, if it's like 200 like $50 away from take profit, and I'm there to take it, I probably would. However, until the trade gets closed out for me, especially with these mechanical based strategies that I use, until the trade's closed out for me, anything can happen. So I never count my money whilst I'm in the trade. I'm never like thinking about I've got 2.5K in the bag here because I'm all the way up at 5025. I only need $10 more, $5 more. I'll think about it after it's finished. It's either minus 1% or minus 0.75 or it's plus 2.5%. Just reading some of the comments here. Sadar says, I want to get your bot API. Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do. You want me to take a look at the Nasdaq? Okay. Sorry. I mean, I can't lie to you. I said last week when everyone was these articles I saw online about, this is the end. Nasdaq wipes 1.1 trillion. I think I've got a video coming out on it soon. But like I said to you, nothing's really changed. In fact, all that's happened is we came down into the bottom of the range, which it has been a bit of a slow and painful. Oh, sorry, you can't see my screen, can you? It has been a bit of a slow and painful start to really since October. The stock market hasn't moved. The Nasdaq hasn't moved. It's ranged between 26.5 to 24, and it's not really had a breakout in either way. Would you call that losing momentum, or would you call that a pause? Well, you don't know until after the move. I would think the safer bet is that this is a pause, right? Period for another wave higher, because it's just a lot easier being a permanent bull on the stock market than try and be a hero and call it a bear market. So I'm still on the lookout to be honest, for this Nasdaq market after a brilliant Friday session, for it to come back up to 26,000. That's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to see if I can find any evidence of that. Okay. It's a tough one because you're trading inside the range, you know what I mean? It's not really like we're trading a trending market here. Into this fair value gap. What's happened at the start of the week? Okay, a little bit of a gap from the weekend. I mean, to be honest with you, it's actually, in terms of what the technicals are telling me, was that the gap? That's the gap. The technicals, it's against my opinion and my fundamental view. The technicals are saying on a Monday to sell from the fair value gap, break down below it, retest and trade this back down to 24,000. But as I said, I'm not really too interested in selling the stock markets. I'd rather wait for a good dip opportunity. Just can't really seem to find where that might be. Okay, so this is all pretty much balanced. FVG in here. Could be something like that. We have had internal liquidity taken there. Yeah, mate, it's not really giving me much of a setup, to be honest with you. I think I might have to wait a few more days to see how the markets play out. The markets are quite tough. I'd agree with that. I've got some water here. Give me some water, I'm thirsty. Yeah, I'm still in buyers on gold. To be honest with you. Yeah, don't count your chickens before they hatch. That's completely correct. Said that on the live chat. Don't count your chickens before they've hatched, indeed. Or as, what's the song? What's that song? Never count your money when you're sitting at the table. If anyone knows this song. Yeah, Kenny Rogers, the gambler. Listen to that song. Never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. That's what it says. Yeah, I have that attitude when it comes to trading as well. Never count the profits until that trade is out, you know. And as you can see at the moment, little bit of pressure on gold on the New York Open, but nothing too bad. I've spoke about Bitcoin. Updates on mentorship. Still communications going on behind the scenes. The website is there, guys. You can go and check out the website, everythingtrading.com. You can go and check that out, but the good stuff has not been put on there yet. What's my favourite pair? That's a good question. I have to say, since the deployment of my automated systems, I do quite like gold. But overall, the systems that was created, the market which performed the best, like overall as a whole, was actually the DAX, the German stock index. I don't really know why. It just does. Of course, DAX is your fave. Mohammed, you can just quickly, like, you can just scroll back on the live stream, I think, can't you? And just at the start, I spoke about Bitcoin in detail. It's worth checking out. And I've also got a video coming out on Bitcoin on my social media channel soon. So yeah, I mean, my favorite pairs will be the ones that I've got the strategies on. So I've got the gold for this one, I've got the S&P 500 for this one, and the DAX for this one. So currently minus 0.3% on DAX, plus $700 on, no, not that one, plus $1,400 on the on the gold. Sorry, can't get my words out. And on the, yeah, pretty much flat at the moment on the S&P 500. As I said, it is a Monday. It's very, very normal. Thank you very much for the nice comment there. Oh, I see, Mohammed. Were you? I mean, yeah. To be honest, Hamza, the reason I don't necessarily like analyze the DAX in terms of like manual trading is because I it's because I have the system now, so it doesn't really require much more opinion from me, to be honest. So that's probably why. I don't know. It's just a slightly different approach that I've got now. Let's go back onto gold. What are we doing, guys? Are we moving down? Yeah, we're still hanging on in there, still in profit. Mendo and Speed, hello to you. Connor, how confident are you in your analysis? And do you just place the order and forget about it? Let it go to TP or SL? Now that, again, it's good, it's a great question. Thank you. That depends on the strategy. So let me just tell you, we've tried, when I come to back testing and when I come to testing systems, forward testing, back testing, whatever it is, there's multiple ways in which I would do it. Like, I would categorize it. Is this a strategy where I would be using a fixed 3-to-1 risk reward, a fixed 4-to-1 risk reward? Is this a strategy where I will be trailing my SL? Is it one where I'll be moving my SL to entry at 1-to-1? There's so many different combinations which you can do. And my best advice to you, and you know what I'm going to say, is test them all. So let me tell you the results from what I found on my edges, right? The golden cross, which is the gold strategy, that works better if you just let it go to TP or SL, right? And because I've seen the results of that, that gives me confidence to be able to leave it alone. Despite the fact, yes, does it hurt a little bit that I was close to TP and now I'm moving back down to entry? Of course it does. It's not easy to watch, but I know what the longer term results of that are, so I just let it go. The DAX Power Hour, the strategy on the DAX index, that works better if when it reaches a 1-to-1 risk reward, I move my stop loss to entry. I'm not saying there's like loads in it, but the results that we gathered were better when we moved our SL to entry, but they weren't on the gold strategy. Does that make sense? And on the index blitz, same thing. That works better if you just let it go to TP or SL. And that's just the way it is. There isn't like a one system fits all. It really does depend on what system you're using. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I named them. Yeah, I named them. Yes, I did name them. Like my pets, I named them. Connor, how are you able to control your emotion after seeing your trade return from so close? No, it's a fair point. I think that anyone who tells you that it doesn't hurt is lying. Of course, there's a little bit inside me that goes, damn it, or worse words than that. I was close and then it stopped me out. But again, what I tell myself, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself here because it's very, very important, is I just keep telling myself, I know what the data says, I know what the data suggests, and therefore I know that this was the best way to trade it over the long term. I know throughout the year I'm going to have probably multiple situations where I get close to TP and get stopped out stopped out at a loss. I also know that there will be situations where I get really close to SL and hit TP. So you just got to take the rough with the smooth. That's essentially what you've got to do. Mohammed, can you tell me the reason why gold crashed a few weeks ago? The literal reason gold never became so aggressive in the past, a reason so that we could be more attentive in the future. Look, Mohammed, there's a few reasons. The Kevin Walsh appointment on the Federal Reserve spooked the markets because they were expecting Trump to hire someone who's super dovish, and he's typically seen as a hawkish person. So that was an unexpected, thing that spooked gold. On top of that, you then had some institutional profit taking from a market which was very overextended to the top side. That again snowballed, rippled, continued, and that's why we saw drops in the gold market as well. So those two things were the main reasons why. Why did I shift to Dubai? Because of the tax-free country, you like the lifestyle. And I was offered a job opportunity here, to be honest with you. At the time, I wasn't looking to move to Dubai at all. But Forex, which is the company which I'm employed by to be their market analyst, worked with them previously a few years ago, left and then came back after they asked me that they had a new opportunity come in, to start recording content and stuff for the company. So I know the CEO quite well on a personal level, so I decided to make the move. Yeah, best decision I ever made. My home country is the UK. It is the UK. Oh, I'd like some life in these markets, please. Give me some. Oh, look at it. Give me some life, man. Any other questions for me? Any other questions? Don't leave Torex. No, I'm not planning to. Don't worry. I'll be staying. No, I'm the Yusuf. I'm the trade and education manager here at Torex. So we've got analysts in different regions. You might start to see some of their content coming through in the different languages in different regions. So yeah, UK is miserable. Yeah, it's not great. What do I think about futures trading? Good question. I have nothing against futures traders. In fact, I quite like the idea of myself of getting involved in futures trading. The price action is typically cleaner. The challenges are typically cheaper. The rules aren't as hard on the challenge phase, but I've heard in the live phase they can be a little bit more challenging. But overall, futures is something which, yeah, let's just say it's something which is on my radar for sure. Dev Mikos, yeah, probably should address that, shouldn't I? I mean, I'm getting tagged on X about stuff that is nothing to do with me, to be honest with you. But there we go. That's just the nature of it. I think because I'm putting my face out there, people believe that I'm the CEO of Torex and Atmos. Believe me, I wish I was, but I'm not. All right, I'm just the market analyst. Okay. Yeah, Atmos funded. The EAs are allowed as long as they're not commercial EAs. They're EAs that you've built yourself or whatever. My TP on gold is, as you can see here, up at 4030. I haven't shorted gold, Hamza. I'm long on gold. Yes, I am very calm, Mendo and Speed. I am very calm about the situation. Oh, Caps, appreciate you coming on here doing these live streams. Thank you. Thank you very much for the comment. Yes, I enjoy. Remember, I've got one, guys. I've got one coming up on Wednesday. I'm going to do NFP live. Of course, Torex is a good broker. Multi-regulated, multiple entities. Check out our website, tradetorex.com. Amazing broker. Lots of nice trading tools as well. And hopefully, the last piece of the puzzle will be the Everything Trading Learning Hub, which is where I'm going to be situated more. So, anything of interest with the news this week, Lara? Yeah, I did speak a little bit about that in at the beginning of the stream. It is an interesting week for news because we've got the delayed NFP coming out on Wednesday, and then we've got US inflation coming out on Friday. So I'm going to cover the NFP report on Wednesday, the first one of the month, is it? Or have we already had one? God, I don't even know what day of the week it is. Sorry, yeah, we had one, so it's the second one of the year. But yeah, this will be the first one where it's the jobs data for 2026, though. So it'll be interesting to see how that one goes, to be honest with you. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm looking at the current situation on like the dollar and the whole fundamental story. I just don't believe that Trump would have hired someone who isn't going to cut rates. So I actually think that the markets maybe have mispriced interest rate cuts. I think we might see more than the markets are expecting, as more than what's being priced in, which I think contributes to lower US dollar, higher stock market sort of thing. And the only really correlates to higher stock market if there isn't like a crash in the economy, and there's no evidence of that just yet. So I think we're at the moment in a perfect scenario for a bull market still. But obviously things can change. Sorry, lots of questions coming to. Lots of questions. I'll answer a few more, guys. How long does it usually take me to pass an account? How long's a piece of string? However long it takes. Usually, let's say on average, a couple of months maybe. To pass both phases, I'm always a two-phase trader. Because I don't like the trailing drawdown stuff. And if you're confident in your strategy, you shouldn't need to fast track it, too much, and find yourself, attached to stronger drawdown rules, etc. No, you can't, Amar. You cannot ask about that. Come live every night. To be fair, when the mentorship's out, I'm gonna be live streaming 4 times per week. I just won't be live. I won't be live like publicly every day. I'll do 2 public streams where it's like free for everyone, and then the other streams will be dedicated to the people in our premium group. How many years have I been trading? Well, my story is a little bit different. It's trading wise, 8 years, and probably the same in terms of like market analyst stuff as well. I was pretty much employed as an analyst straight out of university, and yeah, got a degree in economics, so that's why I'm quite heavy on the fundamentals. How do I feel about becoming an analyst at Forex and teaching people as well? Do you take it as a job or a passion? No, I think I'm in a very unique situation because I don't have to rely too heavily on trading income. But I like to rely on it. It also like, because people sometimes say, why do people sell courses if they're profitable traders? Well, in my situation, like I said on X the other day, my situation's different because I'm paid a salary to analyse. And if the people above me turn around and say, Connor, we want you to create a course, we want you to educate our community, what am I going to say no? Because a few people on Instagram and X have said that I can't sell courses because I'm profitable. So, yeah, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I quite like it. Okay, let's just follow this for 5 more minutes, shall we? It's really been a slow start. Maybe we were blessed. We were blessed last week with crazy volatility, and it's just a little bit calmer. Hoping we can see this next wave higher here. I pretty much touched entry. I don't know if anyone noticed that, but I pretty much touched entry. But yeah, as I say, nothing too crazy going on, is there really? Pretty typical Monday. DXY is on its way down, people. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy really to gold has just hit 5,000. I'm happy to leave it there, I think, because I don't want to bore you sitting following it. I know some people would want me to stay on the trades, but it is also approaching 6 p.m. for me, and I've got some giveaways to give away and stuff after the stream. So yeah, listen, I think we'll end the stream there. Just to summarise, big week obviously with NFP and inflation. I will be covering the NFP report on Wednesday. It's a fairly, maybe people are hungover from Super Bowl. Should we call that? Let's call it that. So the markets are fairly calm, which is okay. Stock market's flat. Gold's up a little bit. Silver's up, probably the story of the day. Silver's up quite heavy. Ethereum's down 3%, but nothing crazy to report just yet. So, yeah, listen, I'll end the stream there, and I'll announce the winners of the giveaway in Discord. So if you're not in the Discord channel, you can scan the QR code and you can join it. But I think also the link's in the description below. I'll be monitoring my gold trade. For those of you, when I come off the stream, just know I'm aiming for 5030, 5030. That's my target. We're currently at 5005. We'll see how that gets on, and hopefully I can come to you on Wednesday with some good trades. If I do have any more trades that are placed and I'm active, I will share them in the Discord channel at your own discretion. So keep an eye on that. Until next time. Until Wednesday, until NFP Live, trade well, trade safe, be careful in these choppy, rangy markets. Don't give away too much because we've got a big week coming. Okay, thank you very much. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.